Hello, I am Abraham and today I will discuss Cuban music's African rhythms and how Buena Vista Social Club has honored them. Buena Vista Social Club has honored Cuban music's African rhythms. But firstly, what was the Buena Vista Social Club? The Buena Vista Social Club was a musical ensemble as well as a social club. The ensemble began in the 1990s when the two founders Nick Gold and Cooder went to Havana, Cuba on a new musical venture with the original intention of using Mali musicians to create music in a band. That plan never came to fruition because the Mali musicians did not receive their travel visas in time. The end result was that Nick Gold and Cooder chose to use local Cuban musicians instead. Singers of different yet similar walks of life chose to help, mainly motivated financially during a Cuban economic crisis known as the Special Period, which in Spanish is known as El Periodo Especial. And thus this venture gave them a chance at making money doing what they loved, composing music. Among these musicians were Ibrahim Ferrer, Compay Segundo, whose real name is Francisco Repilado, Juan de Arcos Gonzalez, and Ruben Gonzalez, to name a few. The resulting union was not only a revival, but also a celebration of classic Afro-Cuban music styles and rhythms such as son, rumba, danzón, bolero, and guajira. This revival of classic rhythms was so well received that during the 1990s, Cuba considered itself in a golden age of music. In this way, the Buena Vista Social Club has honored Afro-Cuban rhythms and by extension Africa's influences in Cuban music. Now some attention should be given to the members of the musical ensemble. I will firstly mention Francisco Repilado, known as Compay Segundo. He was a musician who specialized in composing various son cubano songs during the early and mid 20th century in Cuba. He was so popular then that the youth would acknowledge him in the street, as he mentions in a public broadcast service (PBS) interview with Beto Arcos back in 1998. Juan de Arcos Gonzalez was a Cuban musician who played, and as of making this video, he still lives and is 71 years old. He originally was a fan of American and British rock music, but decided to establish a more traditional Cuban band by the name of Sierra Maestra in 1978. His goal was to keep Cuban folk music alive in younger generations so they too could appreciate it. Sierra Maestra was relatively successful, recording 14 albums and touring internationally. Later, he would become an important member of the Buena Vista Social Club musical ensemble. Ruben Gonzalez was a Cuban pianist who was so influential with his piano skills in the 1940s that he was said to have forged a style of modern Cuban piano playing in the 1940s. He played piano from the 1940s until his retirement in the 80s, but came out of retirement in the 90s to play at both Afro-Cuban All-Stars and Buena Vista Social Club. Through the stories of these members, the idea should form that Africa's influences are heavily intertwined with Cuban music. In the various life experiences of these musicians, we can see how they play various Afro-Cuban music styles, and we can note how common it is for folk music of Cuba to have heavy African influences. One of these influences is percussion, of which Africa gives an instrument that despite its simplicity is named the clave, because it is the key rhythm in Afro-Cuban music. The clave is a very simple instrument consisting of two sticks struck together rhythmically to create a rhythm. It is so simple because it was first used when African slaves in Cuba began using wooden ship pegs to create rhythm. It then became a prominent feature of many Afro-Cuban rhythms, including son cubano. Note that son is in Spanish because Spanish is the most commonly spoken language in Cuba. So despite its African rhythms, it has a Spanish name. Overall, through its many Afro-Cuban songs and its inclusion of key Afro-Cuban musicians, Buena Vista Social Club has honored Cuban music's African influences.
Soy guajiro y carretero, y en el campo vivo bien. Soy guajiro y carretero, y en el campo vivo bien. Porque el campo es el Edén más lindo del mundo entero.
A caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte. A caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte. A caballo vamos pa'l monte, a caballo vamos pa'l monte. Chapea el monte, cultiva el llano, recoge el fruto de tu sudor. Chapea el monte, cultiva el llano, recoge el fruto de tu sudor. Chapea el monte, cultiva el llano, recoge el fruto de tu sudor. Chapea